Welcome, Tat Fam. Thank you for joining us, whether you're a member of the Tattooed Apologist team, a new believer, maybe far from God, or just stumbled into our 5 for Faith journey, where we meet daily to digest a single verse of Scripture for 5 minutes, and God willing, allow it to equip us throughout our day, and ideally for our entire lives. All right, let's dive into James 1:7, straight from the Bible, no fluff. So let's unpack this verse. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord, end quote. James isn't here to pat us on the back or hand us out participation trophies. He's laying down a hard truth. After calling out the double-minded doubter in verse 6, you know, the one who prays but doesn't really believe, James doubles down in verse 7. Here's the bottom line. Don't expect God to answer prayers you never trusted him to handle in the first place. This isn't a gentle nudge. It's a wake-up call. Faithless prayers, they don't move God, period, hard stop. So, who's James talking about here? For that person, end quote, he's still got his eye on the doubter from verse 6. Not the person wrestling with honest questions. God has immense grace for that. No, this is the spiritually split down the middle type. The one who prays but secretly thinks, yeah, God's not going to show up. The one who says, I trust you, Lord, but keeps a plan B in their back pocket. You know the type. Maybe you've been the type. They'll pray, thy will be done, while clutching their own agenda like a security blanket. James is blunt. That person, the one treating God like a cosmic vending machine, you know, pop in a prayer, wait 5 minutes, and if nothing happens, they're off to fix it themselves. Don't expect to pay out. God's not playing that game. James doesn't mince words. Must not suppose, end quote. This isn't a casual, oh, maybe don't get your hopes up. It's a firm, stop fooling yourself right now. You can't toss up a prayer with zero faith and expect God to shower you with blessings like you're his VIP. It's just not how it works. God's not stingy. Don't get that twisted. He's not sitting up there with his arms crossed, waiting to say no, but he responds to faith, not empty words. Think about it. If you don't trust someone to deliver, why would they bother showing up? And James is saying, quit pretending. You can't fake it with God. He sees through the act. Faithless prayers don't get a courtesy nod. They get nothing. And here's where it gets really real. That he will receive anything, end quote. Not a little something, not a consolation prize, nothing, zilch, nada. Why? Because faith is the currency of God's kingdom. It's not about how loud you pray or how many hashtags you slap on it. It's the gut level trust that says, God, I'm all in, even if I don't get it, how I want, or when I want, or in the manner that I want. And without that, you're spiritually bankrupt. We've got people out there with faith tattooed all over their body, on their arms, and they're throwing out hashtag blessed, and they're bowing their heads at dinner. But when push comes to shove, they're banking on themselves, not God. James is waving the red flag. He's saying, stop the charade. God doesn't applaud the performance. God moves for the heart that trusts him. So what are the takeaways from James 1:7? First, faithless prayers are powerless prayers. 2, don't expect God to move if you're not trusting him to. 3, stop pretending. He's not fooled by surface level religion with no substance. And 4, faith is the foundation. Without it, you're running on empty. Here's the kicker. God's not holding out on you. You're holding out on him. James is dropping brutal truth, and we all need to hear it. But empty prayers lead to empty hands. So next time you pray, pause and ask yourself, am I actually believing God, or am I just checking a box? Because if it's the second one, don't be surprised when nothing happens. Faith isn't optional, it's the key. So let's get real, trust him for real, and watch what he does. That's James 1:7. No sugarcoating needed. So thank you for being here and being part of the TAT family. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if this channel impacts your life, please share it with someone dear to you. Regardless, please share it with someone that needs the raw audacity and unwavering commitment James delivers in 1:7. Be blessed.